I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you watch 808 with Clay at Clay Souza Official. You're watching this either on Instagram or in our YouTube channel, Clay Souza Official. Here every Monday and Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather together to talk about photography. Most importantly, the three pillars of an amazing photography, which are lighting, composition, and posing. Always remembering that posing goes hand in hand with directing. Okay, so I appreciate you being here, and if you want to watch this live, it's 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time here at Clay Souza Official on our Instagram feed, right? And all of this gets uploaded to Instagram and YouTube. Mostly YouTube. Instagram has been giving me a little bit of a hard time with uploading the long live, so I'm being uploaded more on YouTube than Instagram, and it's always great. So if you guys are around my YouTube channel, I really appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button and show us some love. We need to get more people there so YouTube can give us like a proper URL so we can advertise our channel and grow our channel together. So I would appreciate if you guys could switch to go to Facebook at some point and just hit that subscribe button. Just do a search for Clay Souza Official and you're going to find our channel, right? In the meantime, we are here every Monday and Wednesday, 8:08 p.m. And on Instagram, we post every day. There's every day one or two posts talking about photography. I want to help you to take your photography from basic to amazing. All right. So, and tonight we have a very good topic. Tonight we're going to talk about what keeps your agenda empty. I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about not being able to book, not booking well. So what's happening? And I have some suspicions that I think I know what's happening. And also, these are important topics because we have a brand new year coming up, a brand new year where people are going to be November and December is what? Engagement season. So everybody gets engaged this year. So January, bridal shows are going to be packed, and it's time to start booking the weddings and the engagements for next year. So this is the right time for you to start looking at this stuff and trying to fix them for next year so we can book more. Okay? So what keeps our agenda empty? But before we get to that, let's get to our questions. As I do every week, I pick 3 of the questions that I have received over the week. I already answered them, and I like to answer them here again because somebody's question could be your question. All right, those questions, they range from very basic to more complex questions. So the first question we're going to address is, should I be shooting in manual? And the answer is yes, you should be shooting in manual. And why? And I know those cameras today, they are very capable cameras, right? You put them on portrait mode or depending which camera, which brand you're shooting, right? In cameras like portrait mode or aperture mode, I think there's a creative mode. I honestly don't know because I never used them. I already start shooting manual. I never shoot in any other mode other than, I have shot like aperture mode a few times, but it's a special situation. But why do you want to shoot in manual? And this is what this channel is all about. Here, I teach you how to move from point A to point B in photography without getting too complicated, right? And you can't do this if you're shooting is something that the camera is thinking for you. The cool thing about the manual mode is that you are thinking about the photography you want to take. You know what you want to do, right? The camera doesn't know what you want to do. The camera can't think for you, okay? And that's why it's important to learn how to shoot in manual. And most of the time you should be shooting in manual because you need to make those changes on your settings that will create the image that you have up here. We've been talking about this for some time now, to have the image ready up here before you push the button, right? Yes, the answer to a question is yes, you should be shooting in manual at this point. All right, and another question that I got is probably about websites, talking about blogging. How effective is blogging? Oh boy, blogging got a really like jump on popularity a few years back. Everybody was blogging, blah blah blah. It is a pain in the butt. Yeah, and I confess, it is a pain in the butt. But let's think about this a little bit, because if you're shooting professionally, if you're shooting clients, you're shooting for money, you want to be found, right? And one of the biggest challenges for photographers is to find text to put on their website. We have beautiful pictures, but guess what? The robot that crawls the crawler, the Google crawler that crawls the internet looking for those keywords, it doesn't read images. It reads the information, the alt tag that you put there, maybe a title or something, but that's not enough information anymore. It used to be in the past, today not anymore. So blogging is a very good way for you to insert your keywords on your website. So if you know how to blog well, if you write, you don't need to write long blogs. I mean, pack with images, write paragraphs, but be smart when you write those paragraphs, and especially the headers of those paragraphs, because the headers, because it's bigger, it counts. It counts a little bit more when I mean the crawler, the crawler sees those headers as more important, because it thinks, well, if this guy put this keyword in a bigger size here on the page, probably this keyword is important. So if you play this well, you're going to see your rankings getting better and better on Google. And yes, I think the only way to, the only reason to blogs really is keyword ranking, to rank well on Google, to rank well on search engines, and to be found, right? It's all about to be found. If you have a website on Google and if it's not landing on the, I would say 3, 4, or page 5, nobody, I mean, just think about your own behavior. You go to Google, you type something, right? Let's see how many pages deep you go. Let's say you're looking for a special type of speed light, and you type your keywords, how deep down you go. Let me know in the comments here how deep down you go on Google. Click on the page until you change your searching terms. Do you click like one, you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 pages, or you go like 1, 2, 3 and you don't change your search parameters? Let me know here in the comments. Let me know how you behave on Google, because that's going to tie it up with what I'm going to say next. So Anthony say maybe 2 pages. So Danny say no, just a few pages. So nobody really is going to go down 5, 10 pages, unless you're looking for something really specific that you know you can find, but you're not finding on the first page because it's very specific, right? Knowing that, what we need to do, we need to rank ourselves at least on the first 3 pages in Google. There's no way you're going to be found if you in page 10, in page 20. It's going to be very hard, right? And every day becomes harder and harder, because now Google, if you look at the first page, you have ads, and you have the map search results, and you have a few ads. You have like 4 or 5 spots for organic, and then you have more ads. And then on second page, that's when you get a little bit more organic results. And by organic, I mean results that are not paid, so people didn't pay to get in there. All right? So it is important to blog, because now you can insert those keywords on your blogging, on your headers, on your title, so Google will find them. You start ranking a little bit better. So that's the only reason. And if you're smart enough, so what you're gonna do, you can use social media. Let's say you do a blog for like 8 tips on how to find your wedding photographer. And you post that on Instagram, you post that on your Facebook, and you post that there. But what you're going to post, you're not going to post like 8 tips. You're going to post like on your Instagram, on your social media, you're going to post like 3 tips, 2 tips on how to find your wedding photographer. And then you're going to link that to your blog post on your website. Okay? Because what happens is this. So you can say, hey, here are 2 tips to booking your wedding photographer, blah, 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 blah. If you want to know more, click here. There's more on my website. Now you're driving traffic from social media into your website. See what I'm doing here? So, and there on the website, you have your 8. All right, and hopefully you have that post linked to something else, or a call to action, or a contact form at the end of the page. So you can go a lot of ways with this, but try to think about your social media and your website as an ecosystem of things. Don't think them as separate things. Think of them as an ecosystem, that one thing linked to another, and that's how you get found. All right, and I need to stop talking about this because I'm going already in a whole different trajectory here. So yeah, blogging is very effective if done well, and if you link your social media into your blog. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of posts that nobody's going to see. All right. So there's another question here. It's about like sunlight, but I'm watching my timer here. We're already 19, about what, 11 minutes into this since the official call. So I'm going to leave this question for later, because I'm not going to get to everything that I need to get here. All right, so what keeps your agenda empty? This is the topic of our life tonight, and I'm doing this tonight because this is the end of the year. This is the time that you should already at this point have a look at your accounting. You should have a look at how many weddings you book, whatever you shoot. Is it wedding, families, high school, senior? How many bookings do you have? Are you happy with your are you happy with the performance of 2021 in your business? If you are, good. So what's the next the next step? How are you going to get better? If you are not, you need to look at, okay, why I'm not where I need to be. All right, first thing that we have talked about this, you need to have a goal for this year. How many high school seniors, let's say here, I don't want to talk about weddings because people think I just talk about weddings, but for me it's easier because I only shoot weddings. I mean, I not only shoot weddings, I shoot primarily weddings, but let's say you shoot high school seniors and families. High school seniors and families. How many session high school seniors did you shoot this year, 2021? How many families did you shoot in 2021? How many families do you want to shoot next year? How many high school seniors do you want to shoot next year? All right? And what's your strategy to get there? Because it's not just going to happen, guys. If you don't do anything, it's not just going to happen, right? Success is planned. I keep saying this over and over, and I will keep repeating this. Success just does not happen. Don't think people, sometimes you talk to younger people who don't want to go to college and they say, well, you know what, Bill Gates is a billionaire and never went to college. Steve Jobs was a billionaire and didn't go to college or dropped off of college, whatever it is. Hey, guess what? How many Bill Gates we have in the world? How many Steve Jobs do we have in the world? Not a whole lot. Those are outliers. They are off the curve. Right? Everybody who has success, it is planned. It's got to be planned, and we have to plan for next year. All right? So one of the things that I know for a fact that prevents people from booking, people miss book, is because they're not replying to the inquiries fast enough. An inquiry arrives, you need to have a system so you get notified, whichever system it is, through email, through your content client relationship management system, whatever it is, you need to get notified, and you need to jump on that inquiry right away. You need to jump in it right away. And let me tell you a little story. So a few years back, we got contacted by a mom who wanted to photograph her family. Okay, for some reason I think I haven't told that story today. I don't know. So anyway, she contacted us, and so Danny, my wife, who does the client relationship thing, so she is talking to the lady and stuff, and she tells me, hey, there's this lady, she wants to photograph her Jordan Lake, and Jordan Lake is a beautiful place, but it's not a whole lot of place to shoot there. And I'm like, really, Jordan Lake? Yeah, that's what she wants, blah 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 blah. We try to control that a little bit, but that's what she wants. I wasn't like 100% excited about it. Like, you know, I'm a wedding photographer. I do families. I like doing families. I like doing like 4 kids. I'm like, all right, well, what are we gonna do, right? There's nothing to do over the weekend. Let's go there and make some money. Try to make some money. So she paid for the fee, and then we get there and we found a location there where we could shoot, and then I'm waiting for them, and they pull over on this huge pickup truck, right? and kids kept popping out of the truck, like 4 kids, and this kid had, one of them had like spiky blonde hair. There's Jeff. First I was asking about you, buddy. So here comes this kid on a spiky hair, sunglasses, and they take ATVs out of the car, and this kid is high-fiving me. I'm like, what is happening? This is going to be a lot of fun, right? And those kids jump into the ATVs, and they like, you know, and they're like sliding and doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm shooting. So we spend a bunch of hours with them there, and I'm glad you made it, brother. So we spend a bunch of hours with them. They're having a great time, create beautiful images for them. Then we added the images, and then we called her to do the IPS session, right? The IPS session. Well, she came to the IPS. She loves the image. What was the result of the IPS session? We sold 6 24 by 36 metal prints. 6 24 by 36 metal prints. All right? They had just purchased a house. They had empty walls all over. Okay? So that's how it purchased. So that was like a big sale, like close to $8,000 sale, or if not more. In talking to her here during the IPS, this is why I'm going back. I'm going to take a long turn to tell this story. So during the IPS, I asked her, "How did you find us?" She's like, "Oh, I found you guys on Google." I said, "Oh, that's great, blah blah blah." And she said, "Well, yeah, but before calling you, I called 4 other photographers, and nobody picked up the phone. Nobody. I sent emails. I called. Nobody picked up the phone. Nobody returned the email that I sent them. So four people passed up on this client, right? Who spent close to, like, once you put like a session fee and prints and everything, close to $10,000 on us, right? So here is to this: you get an inquiry, answer it right away. Right away. I personally do not like those autoresponders, because everybody knows it's an autoresponder. All right. If you can't get to the request at that point right away, just send a quick text, right? Or a quick email. Hey, I'm tied up with something else, but as soon as I'm free here, I'll get back to you. Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks for contacting us. Okay, so, but make it personal. Call the person by the name and make it personal so they know it's not an auto reply. People will appreciate, people will understand this, but acknowledge their contact, acknowledge their inquiry. Because, guys, it's not easy to get. It costs you a lot of money to get a client at the door. And a client that is already calling you, that's a very, very, very hot lead. There's not harder lead than somebody who has looked at your work, because if this client is calling you, probably look at your work, all right? And so, yeah, answer that question fast. That's probably one of the reasons why people are, when they get back to people or they never get back to people, you're not going to book if you never get back to them, right? So another reason that I see that people are not booking is because they try to avoid as much as they can have a face-to-face meeting. Everybody today wants to do online. Guess what? You're not going to book a wedding if you do everything online. It's crazy to do that. You know why? Because when I'm sitting down across the table with a bride, she's interviewing me and I'm interviewing her at the same time. I want to know if she's going to turn to a bridezilla on me on a wedding day. And if she does, I don't want to shoot that wedding. I want to know if she's going to be a bridezilla after the wedding. So this is the type of thing that you need to do. This is part of the job. Photography is a relationship business. It's not about your photography. It's about relationships, right? And we have to build those relationships. So stop avoiding face-to-face contact, because that's important. I try as much as I can to get face-to-face, to get people to come here, because here I have control over the situation, right? We talked about this on IPS. We have a full live on how to run consultations. But Here in our home, we have control over the situation. We have all the prints laid up on easels. We have music, we have food, we have the light control, we have the temperature control. There's no kids screaming, there's no dog barking, there's no phone ringing, right? It's focus, it's all about the business, all right? Face to face. Another problem that people have, not listening to your potential client needs. I have another story about this, but it's a long one, I'm not gonna tell. But you need to ask your question and shut up. Shut up and listen. Do not interrupt. Stop interrupting people. It became this thing. Now everybody interrupts everybody and nobody gets to the end of the sentence because it freaks me out when people start interrupting, right? Just stop. Ask a question. Stop talking. It's not about you. It's about them. You need to learn about them. Ask the questions that you think is going to be necessary for you to book that wedding, to book that high school senior, to book that family. But listen to their story. Listen, show interest in them. Once you show interest in them, they're going to recognize it and you're going to fall into their grace. Okay? Not listening. Check. I'm going through this like crazy. So, not showing value in photography. If you're trying to sell photos, you're going to have a hard time because a lot of people sell photos. There's a lot of people selling photos today. You're not selling photos. You are selling a service, that you're selling memory. You're selling things, that moments that's not going to happen again. Photo is just a mean to get to those memories. So you need to sell the experience. You can't be, if you try to sell photos, you're going to struggle because there's always somebody cheaper than you who can create photos too, right? But now if you sell the experience, that's different, right? And this is what you need to sell, the experience. Stop trying to sell photos, pictures, because this is makes your job much harder. And if you're not seeing yourself as a storyteller, then we have a bigger problem. Okay, we have a bigger problem. Let me tell you this. I was mentoring a photographer not long ago, and she was complaining. So we went through the first part of the she booked me for 2 days for mentoring. So the first part of the mentoring is just like the first part of the mentoring is like hands-on, posing, directing, photograph, right? The second part of the mentoring is more like business. So what's happening, how to book, how to run an IPS, where to buy your pictures, which labs to use, that type of stuff, which products to offer. It's more business-wise. It all depends. It's always tailored for what people really need. All right. So, and she booked like one day for shootings, and we did the 1 day and a half, and the half of the Sunday we just did business. Okay, so, and I was talking to her and she said, I can't talk to people. I don't know why I can't sell myself to people. And I said, why, what's happening there? So how, it's like, I know, and I told her, let's role play here. All right, so let's see how you introduce yourself to me. And so I stood my hand there. So, hi, I'm Clay Souza, how are you? And she shook my hand, and she's like, I'm Andrea. And I asked, so what do you do, Andrea? And she said, I'm a mom, and I have a camera, I take pictures. How are you going to sell yourself if you don't believe that on what you do? I'm a mom, and I take pictures? That's not a photographer. It's a mom with a camera, right? So what we identified there, right at that point, it didn't matter what I told her how to behave. She didn't believe in herself as a photographer. Okay, so the path that we took is that the first thing you need to do, you need to believe in yourself as a photographer. When I introduce myself to people, I stand my hand. Hi, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding photographer. I don't even say I'm a photographer. I'm a wedding photographer, because that's what I am, right? And once you do that with confidence, that sends a really good vibe. So you know what you're doing. You are in control of the situation. Now if you go like, I'm Clay Souza, and I like photography, that's not the same thing ever, right? Showing confidence is important. So This is what's going to show value on what you do. It shows people that you value what you do, that you know what you're doing, that you're confident. All right. So let's get this message out there. Stop this nonsense of not throwing confetti on yourself. We need to do this. We are business people. We need to get our personality, our vibe out there. Okay, so for this topic, like not showing value in your photography, so stop thinking that you are selling photos. You're not selling photos. You're selling experience. You're selling moments that's not going to repeat anymore. You are a storyteller. You are not a photographer. You are a storyteller. Okay, and if you don't think you are, then we need to go back and look at your why, which is another thing that I have here. This is going to tie it up pretty good. Why? Why do you photograph? I saw this guy talking about this the other day. I thought it was fascinating. It's like your why. Why do you photograph? If you ask me, Clay, why do you photograph weddings? I could photograph anything else, right? Think about this. And what I'm going to tell you right now, I tell my clients, I tell every single potential client that sits in front of me downstairs when you're booking the wedding, right? This is how I close my sales speech. Like, guys, you could hire anybody, right? You could hire a guy with a camera, you could hire anybody, but you need a wedding photographer. Besides, what you need is a wedding photographer who knows what they're doing. And I'll tell you this, I could be shooting anything else. There's one reason why I shoot weddings, and I'm going to explain it to you. Now, pay attention to me. I could be shooting anything else. I could be photographing anything else. Think about a wedding day. Wedding days are long. Where I finish an 8, 10 hour, 12-hour wedding, I'm tired. Sometimes I sit in the car, I need to take 5-minute break before I can start driving. And I keep asking myself, why do I do this? Why do I keep doing this? For many years, I asked myself that question. Why do I keep doing this? I could be shooting anything else. Because if you think about a wedding day, a wedding photographer doing a wedding day, so we are portrait photographers. That's clear, right? We can shoot photojournalism. When you shoot the ceremony, we're not stopping anything. We're not posing anything. We're just predicting the moment and shooting through it. All right. We are product photographers when shooting the details of a wedding, the ring, the decoration, the flowers, the bouquet, everything, the shoes. We're shooting products. So I could be shooting at least 3 different genres of photography. Why do I shoot wedding? Why do I keep coming back to this long, tiring day that's like every single wedding? Then I pause and I say, I do this because I'm a storyteller. In any other genre of photography, except photojournalism, any other genre, you're not telling a story. Wedding photographer is a storyteller. And that is my why. That's why I shoot weddings, because I'm a storyteller. That's how I close my conversations with my clients. Right? So I'm putting the emotional out there. I'm sending it back to them, that vibe that I love what I do, and I do. And this is, guys, this is true. This is not a sales pitch, anything that like sleazy sales technique. No, this is true. That's how I feel. So if you like that way that I close my conversation with the bride, hit that heart button there. Let me see. Did you guys pay attention to this or not even listening? Let me see what I'm talking about this. So I'm halfway through. Oh gosh. No hearts? I got no hearts. Boo-ah. All right. So another thing is, oh, there they come. There they come. There you go. So another thing that this is controversial. I know it's controversial, and if you disagree with me, I want you to say something. One big mistake that I think people make: keep your prices on your website. No, on my website, you don't have price. You're not going to see collections on my website. You're not going to see packages on my website. You're going to see a starting price. Then you see a starting price. Sylvester, good to see you here, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. So put your price on a website. And this is why. Once you put the price on a website, you become that number. Anybody can beat that number. You already competing with other people without even knowing. Anybody who offers 100% less is going to beat you. Why? Because the client doesn't know who you are, doesn't know your why, doesn't know the experience you're going to provide. They don't know anything about that. They're going to look at your website. You say, oh, my session fee is $400. Anybody that charges like $350, they're going to take the client from you. You don't even have a chance to go after the client. Right? They're not even going to talk to you because your price is over there. So that's why I do not put my price on websites. Not at all. Right? Do you disagree with me? If you disagree with me, just type a comment there and let's have a conversation about it. Okay? And I'm going to keep moving along. Let's say, or if you agree, hit the heart button again. You're going to hit the crap of the heart button tonight. Price on your website. So what I do with price on my website, so wedding collection starts at, and the price is over there. That's how much they get. If they can't even afford the basic package, there's no reason to get back to me. Right? Now, if they can, let's have a conversation. Let's come here. I don't even like giving price on email. Email? No. It's the same situation. They send you an email, what are your price of collections? Don't go like, oh, it's this much. No. This is, write that down, guys. Write that down, record it, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to give you a text to deal with that objection. Clients ask for price on email. Oh, can you send me a price through email? Hi, so-and-so, thank you so much for contacting us. Really appreciate your interest in our photography. Here's what happens. I try to avoid giving price through emails because price through emails usually generate more questions than answers. Okay, and you're going to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on email. This is what we can do. Give me a phone number and a time that I can call, and I'll give you a call. Or if you want to come to our home office to see samples of our prints, samples of our albums, samples of everything, because we have samples of everything that I offer you. We have it all here. It would be a great pleasure to have you here. So that way you can ask any questions that you want, and I can learn more about your story and to be loyal to your story on a wedding day. Thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from you. Boom. The objection is gone. Right? So now, if email may come back saying, you know what, I don't have time, I really would like to talk, I really would like you to send me price over email here. Then you're going to go for the phone call. Okay, this is cool, I'm available right now, can I give you a phone call? What's your phone number? Hey, pay attention to this. Can I give you a phone call? What is your number? So it's a call to action. It's a verbal call to action. I'm asking her, what's your phone number? I'm not saying, why you give me a call? Because she'll never call. She'll never call. Right? Now, if she's really interested in your work and doesn't want to do a face-to-face, she's going to give you her number. And then you're going to call her. Then you go there and you do your consultation over the phone. Right? But try to get that contact. Try to get that contact. Either face-to-face, ideal. If not, phone. Then she goes, let's say, 30 mail, comes around. You know what? I don't like talking on the phone. What's your price? Then I end up like, okay, whatever. And I know that's going to be it. There's not going to be any other communication like that. All right? But see how much I try to avoid it as much as I can, because it's usually never come back. All right, got 2 more to go. Oh, I just want to talk about this already. If you don't know your why, you don't know your why. If you know your why are you a photographer? Why are you a senior photographer? Why are you a family photographer, wedding photographer, whatever it is? If you know your why, ask this question. How are you communicating that to your potential clients? What's the point of knowing your why here inside your head if nobody knows it? Make sense? You need to communicate that, and I showed you here how I communicate my why. That why thing that I told you about here right now, that's how I end every single consultation. And I'll tell you, it works. You're appealing to the sentimental value of people. It works, right? They're getting to know you. You open yourself up to people. right? And that's what people want to see. People want to know who you are. Think about a wedding day. A photographer stays with the bride for the whole day from beginning to end. We need to get along. She needs to know how cool I am. She needs to know how I behave. She needs to know how I talk. She needs to know, am I one guy who's like every 3 words that comes out of my mind, one is the F word? She doesn't want that type of photographer around her family, right? So she's interviewing you, and you also interviewing her. Is she going to turn into a bridezilla to me? If she's actually picking prices like in your collection, like picking the little tiny details, that's a huge red flag. If she's already picking now, what she's going to pick when you deliver the images? When you create the album, how's it going to go? All right, think about this. So if you don't know your why, think about what is your why. Because each one of us have one why. What is your why? My why is I'm a storyteller. That's why I'm shooting weddings. That's not why I'm not shooting products. There's no storytelling in product. But in weddings, yes, there is storytelling. So that's why I'm a storyteller. So that's why I shoot weddings. So what's your why? And if you know your why, how you are communicating that with your potential clients. All right? So let's see. Last but not least, you don't believe you're a salesman. That's a good one. Listen, you negotiate every single day of your life and you don't even know it. You're negotiating since you're born. When you're hungry and you're born, you're a little baby. When you're hungry, what you do? You cry. You make a fist, you yell until people give you some milk, right? When you get married, I negotiate with my wife all the time. You didn't go out tonight? No, I don't know. I mean, she told me who wants to go to the movies tomorrow. I said, what's playing? We're negotiating. You're negotiating at that point, right? You negotiate with your boss. If you have another job, you negotiate with your boss. You negotiate every single day. And when the clients sit in front of you, potential clients sit in front of you, you are negotiating. You are a salesman. There's nothing wrong in being a salesman. What's wrong is being a sleazy salesman. That's wrong. Unjust, unfair, somebody who takes advantage of others. That is wrong. But there's nothing wrong in being a salesman, because that's what we all are, right? Some of us are good at it, some of us are not as good. But listen, I would rather be 80% a businessman, a salesman, and 20% photographer. Okay? Because listen, if you could rank photographer from 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, if you are a solid 7, 8 photographer, everything else you need to do is work on your business, because from 8 to 10 your client will not know what the difference. We know, because we are damn photographers. We keep picking details that we only us see that. Okay, so try to be a 10 businessman and a 7 photographer. You're going to see how things are going to change. Stop obsessing over gear. Stop obsessing over cameras. Stop obsessing over lenses. You need to have the equipment. I get it. But put that money, put that effort on your education. And your education photography and education business. Because now you are a businessman. You need to learn how to run a business. All right? And I'm totally out of time. 8:54. Okay? So, did you guys like the topics that I talked about? Let me know here. Hit that. I mean, this thing is hot. Woo! So hit the heart button there if this was useful to you. If you think that you picked up something here. Good, good, good. I'm seeing a bunch of hearts going up. All right. So again, I went through those fast because I wanted to complete everything. I don't want to leave anything behind. And if you have any questions, just ping me, send me a DM. All right. If you want me to look at a specific image, critique one image, or critique your website, let me know. It's going to be a pleasure to do that. This is our last live before Christmas. I wish you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. Okay. Enjoy the day with your family. Enjoy the days with your loved ones. All right, and I hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, and Next week, we're going to be doing lives, all right? So we didn't stop. So we're going to do lives next week. I'm just saying this because this is the last before Christmas, all right? And don't forget our YouTube channel. Thank you, Danny. Danny's my wife. She's over here. Thank you, Danny. And don't forget our YouTube channel. Go over there, Clay Souza Official, and give us a subscribe there. We need some users there, all right? Merry Christmas to you guys. Enjoy the Christmas break. And I will see you on Monday here at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about photography. If you have any topic that you want me to talk about, let me know. Send a DM. All right? Bye, guys.